everybody. 30th Pan Am Championships here in Club Indoor, Costa Rica. We're joining a live match currently 8-0 in favor of Ugalde. He's putting on a show. Many people predicted that Manzuri might create the upset, but right now, the Ecuadorian in complete control. Make that 9. Manzuri needs to slow it down. Ugalde's running away with this. Great defense. Really, Ugalde playing really well. 9-0.
9-0.
Manzuri, he could have got that. He just seems a little out of sorts. He's taking a timeout. Wise. Hasn't done one yet. Oh, excuse me, he has. So this... Nope, this is his first, so he'll have a minute to regroup. Certainly didn't expect this score. We put this match on here thinking that it would be fairly close, but right now in game 1, it is all Ecuador. Thanks to those of you who've joined us. Please, a reminder, share our feed. Help us grow the sport. We want as many people watching as possible. Other scores around the courts. Gomez, Venezuela, leads Ubilla from Costa Rica, 5-4. Acuna, Costa Rica. He ended up walking on the court without a warm-up because he showed up late. But he didn't need one. He's cruising at 14-0 game 1. As is Cusbard from Argentina against Gutierrez from Cuba. Cusbard won the first 15-0. Last but not least, Mike Green from Canada leads Fernando Mancel from Nicaragua. Won the first 15-3. He's up 3-2 in the second. Manzuri finally puts one down. Side out, 0-11. I'm joined by Gary Mazeroff, tournament director, also going to be joining us on the commentary starting tomorrow. Gary, what's going on here? We picked this match thinking it would be close. Right now, Manzuri down 0-12 in game 1.
Well, he certainly has a skill set. He's a 20-year competitor on the international stage. He's playing a guy with a mission, Jose Daniel Ugalde. Shai's just coming off some surgery, or actually He had a procedure on both knees, and he didn't play last year for Argentina. So this is his first time in 2 years he's back. We'll see how it changes.
Yeah, and also recognize that he's playing both singles and doubles, and so it takes its toll on the body. I talked to him the day before yesterday and this morning, and he just said, you know, after 8 matches, my body's tired. And so he spent yesterday really, he said he came here, went in the sauna, steam room, cold bath, stretched, you know, because he's got to get his body prepared for this, because, you know, he's almost twice as old as his opponent.
Yeah, he's the better part of 40. In great shape. Nevertheless, his opponent is just the other side of 20, between 20 and 25.
Right now, Ugalde is mixing it up. Playing terrific defense.
Not only that, Tim, we're talking about playing singles and doubles, plus the fact Shai's game style is such that he puts everything into every shot, and he'll leave his feet almost every rally, and that takes its toll.
Rare skip there from the Ecuadorian, 2-13. This first game might be gone, but some points here will certainly help confidence for game 2.
Going to the Z. So he's found a serve. Let's see if he sticks with it. Probably throw in an occasional cross court to the right side.
Great reverse pinch there from Ugalde. Across the body, left side wall, front wall. 2 points away from game 1.
Skip. I'd like to recognize John Hauko, our main referee for this match from Edmonton, Alberta in Canada, Tim.
My roommate, in fact. So here we go. Ugalde takes the first game 15-3 in no short order. So, Gary, your thoughts? This is my first trip to Costa Rica, this San Jose Indoor Club in San Jose. Beautiful facility. Tell us a little bit about this tournament and your observations so far.
This is the third time that Costa Rica has held this tournament. The first time I had the opportunity to attend, which was 1989, and it was at this club. Since then, incrementally, this club has grown. They've added at least one more court, and Costa Rica has built up the racquetball program to now be part of the top tier in the world. You can look at their youth program. The Gemelos, the Rodriguez brothers, have done a great job. Jorge over here and Fernando, his brother, at the other main club in town, which is the country club. They've had youth programs for years, and so there's a legacy that continues. One group ends up moves out of the juniors, next group comes in. It's really exciting to see.
One of the players that's really impressed me representing this country has been Acuna this week, and he's put on quite a show. He's currently, let's give you an update on the score.
I think he shut his opponent out, the Cuban.
He did. It's 3-3 in the second, but he won the first game 15-0. Seems to be in cruise control in this round of 16, so looks like he'll be in the quarterfinals, and that's a positive, a big positive for Costa Rica.
Yeah, this is his club. Is there a home court advantage? Maybe, maybe not. But you and I discussed this earlier. It appears that he's really trained for this event, which may not have been true in the past. Few unforced errors, and every point he's really dedicated to ending that rally. Let's see what happens here with Manzuri versus Ugalde. For our viewers' edification, Tim, I roomed with Manzuri in 1992 at the Worlds in Montreal in Canada, and at that time as a 15, 16-year-old he was playing for Israel.
So side out, Ugalde. Just a reminder that the winner of this will play, looks like Mike Green from Canada. Mike's up 15-3, 10-3 in the second game. And we plan on streaming that later for you. Could be a great matchup between another veteran, and if it stays this way, youthful Ecuadorian. And you see why. What a diving winner that was.
He may be youthful, but he has a long history as a member of the Ecuador national team.
Very true. Plays both singles and doubles here. His partner, Fernando Rios. They were finalists at last year's Pan Am Championships against Mexico, defeating the U.S. in the semifinals, if memory serves me.
Since he needs a couple points to forge ahead, that's all, and in my opinion, that will give him the confidence to get back into this match.
Went for the boast, sidewall to the other sidewall to the front wall, didn't work. Cement walls, green ball, quite humid. These courts are quite quick. Good pickup and good defense from Manzuri. He's rewarded with it. Skip Ugalde, 0-1.
Also, we're here at altitude. It's about 3,500 feet. Not as high as where you were yesterday at 6,000 or 7,000.
Gary Mazarov mentions trips that many of us made to different active volcanoes around Costa Rica. Quite a unique experience. Oh, Manzuri hits himself with the ball. Had everything at his disposal. Just a reminder, one of the matches you might want to keep an eye on this afternoon, Javier Mar against Luis Perez from the Dominican. We'll see how Perez does against the national champion from Mexico.
And recently the junior national champion from Mexico. Talk about legacies. Speaking of Senor Verde, Mike Green, looks like he's completed his task, Tim. He's here as a spectator.
Indeed he would. Closing out the match 15-3, 15-3. Maybe a little scouting is in order. I don't think he expected this score. It's 15-3, 4-0 in favor of Ugalde.
Great serve right side.
That'll be a towel.
That's what I was talking about earlier with Shai. Throw in an occasional cross-court snap forehand to the right side, and that's what Ugalde did, and he got an ace.
Just a reminder that after this we have a round of 16 match between Troncoso from Chile and Galicia from Guatemala. Troncoso sits to the right of me. He's ready for this match.
5-0.
Following that, Gary, and all USA women's singles, Sharon Jackson, Rhonda Racich.
That's in the round of 8? No, 16, correct?
Let me check on that.
Is it today?
It is today.
That's a round of 16. Sharon played a round of 32
this morning, winning 15-2, 15-1 against her Venezuelan opponent. That's scheduled for 1 o'clock Mountain Time. If the results stick the way they are, we should be on schedule. Thanks to Ugalde, who leads 5-1 in the second.
Yeah, for example, Team Canada ladies earlier, Tim, Saunders and Morissette were scheduled to play, and Monsieur Gagnon decided we're not going to play that match. We'll forfeit in favor of one of them.
Do you know why?
One of them was going to beat the other anyway. Chances are Saunders has a better chance to move on. And lo and behold,
Well, in that
Michelle
forfeit,
Alanis Morissette moves on. Now I know why. Canada has 3 women, and Jen's playing 2 events, so save her for the doubles with Drury, her partner. That's a pretty good move. And the way Morissette has played the first 3 days of this event, at least for the first game and a half, we collectively have agreed, you and me and Gustavo, that she's never played that well. That being said, the latter part of those matches, she cratered. So she needs to put 2-3 games together.
losing in tiebreakers in the set, which didn't give her a good seeding into this draw. Ace serve on the court for Manzuri, and he's clawed his way back to 5-5.
See if he can forge ahead with his first lead of the match, Tim. Oh my. Just bonehead play. Not much else you could say about that one.
I'm a 20-year-old veteran. It happens to all of us.
And since he's been my roommate, I'll tell him to his face.
And my competitor. He was my first match in a World Championships.
Nice.
Way back in 2010.
Argentina contra Inglaterra.
That's right. So 5-5, short break. Ugalde finds some stiffer competition in game 2. But he can't afford to do things like that. 6-5 in favor of Ecuador. I spoke to IRF president the other night, Osvaldo Maggi, and asked where his son was, Danny, because Danny is usually one of the contingent from Argentina, and he said that, you know, the challenge of work and family has kept him away this time.
Yeah. He took on a new career, having children.
Well, his wife is here with one of their twins, and she forfeited with an injury, I believe, this morning.
She was complaining about her leg even before she went on the court. I think they played three points and she called it.
Well, she's also in the doubles, so again, she may be saving herself for that.
Yeah, that'll be a neat field because she has a newer player, Natalia Mendez, who has played for years for the Bolivian team, is now playing for Team Argentina. Great shot. Great shot.
Oh, Manzuri finally wins it. That was a long rally. players will be a little tired from that. They're not quick to get back to the ball and serve. Manzuri taking his time there.
Good job by Halko to call the score. Eliminate undue delays.
Been here a while.
6-5.
Shai's still looking for his first lead of the match. I think that'll be crucial. Sedzimanchik, Ugalde's coach, when he was cruising in game one, was chomping on his lunch. Now he's more tuned in. He's a little more serious.
We've had some comments on the chat box about Munchik's involvement in the sport. It's good to see him back after a long and successful career as a player. Another point, 7-5.
Very adept at that Z to the left side. Didn't give Shai much room for getting that racket in position. That's back.
Two great gets. Manzuri. Oh, what a shot. Finally puts it down. Compliment from his opponent.
Tim, that's Shai's trademark shot.
Forehand.
Right side pinch.
5-7.
See how tuned in he is to that shot. He gets his weight real low. He's on balance. It's really a pleasure to see his technique.
Interesting that Manzuri is serving to the forehand of Ugalde when he plays the forehand in doubles. I would have suspected that they would go to his backhand.
Two aces right side by Ugalde. Watch Shai if he starts leaning.
Still haven't seen a timeout. The Argentine coach is now, looks like he's sitting in the stands. He was down there on the front left.
Well, he's been one of the one of the babysitters for Veronique's child, hasn't he? He and 18 others.
Yeah, indeed.
Timeout, Argentina.
Timeout, Argentina. I might have taken it sooner, Gary, but Ugalde up 10-5, 5 points away from this match.
Sometimes you and I say they're saving it for their next match, right?
The timeouts,
Yeah.
indeed. Something some of the coaches do quite often. One of the questions, Gary, we had in the chat box, which I think is a good question, is what's necessary in order to become an IRF official?
Contact us, number one. We'll get you into the directory, take the level 1-2 written test, either in English or Spanish, and then hopefully starting with a junior event, we'll get them involved. We'll develop a history. That's the best way to do it.
Some countries do send representatives based on their own criteria. Canada, for example, have levels and will send referees based on their qualifications. But a lot of countries, it's just a case of having that contact with the IRF and gaining that experience at maybe different levels before being progressed up to the finals, for example, of Pan Am Championships or World Championships.
Correct. John Halko is one example. He started better part of a decade ago. He was gun shy, and he was on the lower tier matches, and now he's on the higher tier matches.
Right.
It's a function of history and confidence to build up after one builds up their skill set. And John certainly has done that, and you can see he's in control.
It's good to see him smiling. He's frustrated though internally, you can tell. He got very upset yesterday with some contentious calls, and one thing I do love about watching Chai plays, he plays with his heart on his sleeve. You can really tell he enjoys representing his country.
I want to say that was a great serve by Ugalde and a better return by Chai from 39 feet. And then he hit what seemingly was a down ball, and Halco didn't say anything, rightfully so. He didn't see it down, and Chai rolled it out left side. Great shot. Great shot.
Nice hands from Ugalde. A reminder coming up, Chile, Troncoso, Guatemala, Galicia. Two young players, lots of international experience going head to head. Then after that, all USA, Sharon Jackson, Rhonda Racich. That's scheduled for 1 p.m. Mountain Time.
Different twist right there, Tim. Jose Daniel, instead of a Z to the left or a inside-out forehand right side like that, he went across his body and got an ace. And now Jose Daniel's on a roll to close this out. Great response by Chai.
Really impressed with Ugalde this week. He's playing very clean. He's always been fast and athletic, but now he's starting to put points together and construct them with good shots as opposed to trying to do something low percentage.
Yeah, shot selection's a lot more in tune with success. As you say, he used to play more with his athleticism and rely on that. And when you get to this level, you have to have that and smarts.
Terrific pickup. And Ugalde skips it. Changes momentum so quickly, Gary, when you give all that effort and get something for it.
Absolutely. It's the Yogi Berra-ism. It ain't over till it's over. Guy has to make the shot. I don't care where he is. He could be 8 feet away from the front wall, 38 feet. You have to make the shot. And the longer Chai kept that ball in play, the more pressure was put on Jose Daniel.
One other match going on right now. Gomez from Venezuela won the first against Ubilla from here in Costa Rica, 15-11, but Ubilla's up in the second, 6-2.
Costa Rica has a nice cross-section of upper-tier players. I would say right now the anchor is Acuna. In doubles, they have Camacho and Fumero, who have played for years together, and they're both really still real young.
Ugalde puts it down in the front. Look where he took his shot, though. 8 feet from the front wall.
Ball start 7.
Well, Shy, unlike most players, kept 3 balls in play that would have been down for most players.
Yeah.
Once again, per the theme we discussed earlier, it's taken its toll. He leaves his feet a lot, playing singles and doubles. This is the 4th day of the tournament. Mind you, we had a break yesterday. It takes its toll. Not to mention his age.
And playing 8 matches, singles and doubles. Looks like he's now being coached by his doubles partner, Kuzbard. Has a laugh with Munchik, does Manzuri.
Well, Carlos Quadri works with the draw master Francisco Kuzbard. He provides the schedule for all of the championship matches, as well as the others for the tournament, for the officials. As we said, he does some babysitting on the side as well.
The trifecta.
13, 6, 7.
Oh, here's game point. Let's see if Ugalde can close it out.
Match point number 1.
14, 6, 7.
This is to play Mike Green.
A match we hope to stream later this afternoon. But that was smooth control from Manzuri straight down the line.
Shy wards off, match point number 1. Let's see if he can get back into this game.
Gary, one of the decisions quickly before we'll see if Manzuri can stay in it, but one of the questions, the IRF decided this week not to provide line judges prior to the quarterfinals. And some people were surprised by that decision. It's actually worked out quite well, given that we don't have the delays of getting line judges set up, having the controversy of having now 3 opinions instead of 1. It's actually really been effective. It also helps with the referees because they're not involved so much, and so they're a little bit more rested. Is this something that you think will continue through other tournaments?
Yes, unless it's not a full service tournament. For example, the Pan Ams,
Correct.
the World Games. You have a limited draw. The World Games is only singles. It's a 2-day event. This is an 8-day event. Not to mention, let's be honest about this. Let's be honest about this. It's a huge, huge financial requirement. And in order to provide lines people throughout the event, you're talking probably another $20,000 to $30,000 required.
Oh, and we should stress, replay called, Manzuri doesn't like it.
He's asking for an interpretation.
Manzuri living in Dallas, completely fluent in English. Ugalde fluent as well. So the other thing we have to mention about the referees is not only is that a financial requirement for the IRF to get them here, this is a volunteer thing for the referees, and so this is such a contribution. They give their time and effort for the good of the game.
So from here, Tim, the assumption is Hauck will call a dead ball hander, replay, first serve, because in his opinion the ball was up and Jose Daniel did not have access to the ball. He had to go through Shy.
And Manzuri didn't like it, but probably the correct call there. So match point number 2, 14-9. Save 2 match points. Manzuri needs 6 points to take this to a tiebreaker.
Let's put things into perspective here.
Sorry, just to interrupt. There's an interesting rule here, Gary, where Manzuri is changing his shirt. Can you just clarify what's going on?
For safe and fair play, the main official can't ask a player or team in doubles to change their shirts. And this is for safe and fair play. Not only that, you see all the towel timeouts we have, and Manzuri has a history of leaving his feet almost every point. And the fairness of the crowd, our spectators, the viewing audience, it gets boring watching downtime. Somebody told me recently, American football, a 3-hour broadcast has 15 minutes of action.
So back on court comes Manzuri. That shirt change can occur at any time, and it can occur as often as necessitated.
Exactly. I was mentioning before we changed the theme. So Jose Daniel has a prospective 3rd match point coming up, but he has to win 2 points in order to get to that. He has to earn the serve first. So there's the first of 2. He's now in Seguida following. He has to win this point. This is the 3rd time he has the opportunity for a match. And here we go with the towel timeout again.
I don't think it's really necessary, given that he just changed his shirt, but in we come. And this is one of the delays which is frustrating for us as fans. We've seen some of the courts being built differently. Burlington, for example, at the 2014 World Championships, and Cali, Colombia. What can we do differently to avoid these towel breaks?
Not treat them with urethane. Not a cure-all, but it helps. So 3 match points warded off. Once again now, Jose Daniel is going to have to win 2 straight points to win the match. 2 straight rallies.
And so some of the courts, yeah, it's almost sanded, and there's no finish on the court. So what that means is when players sweat, it just goes into the wood, and we don't have these continual breaks. It was really nice to see in Colombia, for example. Some players have a history of taking mini timeouts, shall we say. Oh, that's unlucky. Taking mini timeouts to gather themselves, needing the towel. Here's another one.
There we go.
And so if you're designing a court and you can do it without the finish, there's no excuse.
This is
I
unnerving.
need a towel. No, you don't.
This is very unnerving. We recognize it. Now it's up to us to figure out a way to eliminate it. Maybe in the future we'll be able to wipe the courts without a towel and just punch in an app.
Or an app that stops players sweating.
Or eliminate diving. You dive, it's a technical. That ain't gonna happen. There it is.
So Ugalde advances 15-3, 15-9, where he will take on Canadian Mike Green later in the day. We hope you stay for that. What we have coming up next is Francisco Troncoso from Chile against Edwin Galicia
from Chile.
From Edwin Galicia from Guatemala. We're going to reset the feed. We're only allowed to live stream continually for a set number of hours, so we'll reset this and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Hope you stick with us. For now, Tim Backhurst, thanks for watching.